It's your boy Zappa, Professional Stage Ninja, and welcome back to Zappa, me versus the shelf. Over there. It's a very large shelf. Today's selected character is the Rondo Bell Unit Attack Use Mobile Suit, the Refined Gundam Zeta, or ReuploadZ, or ReuploadZ, or Regs, however you choose to pronounce this mobile suit. This is featured in Char's counterattack, and it is primarily known as Amuro's initial mobile suit before he grabs the new, and that is the number one reason I hate the Regs. Not because of this, not because of Char's counterattack, but because of Super Robot Wars and making it such a crappy unit, such a basic unit, and you are forced to use it at least 2 stages in a row before you even get close to being able to put Amuro in something more effective because you're not getting the new Gundam for another 5 stages or some such junk. That aside, let's talk about the kit as opposed to my complaints about Super Robot Wars. This kit comes with 2 regular holding hands. The other holding hand is presently in place. 1 open emotive hand. And 1 trigger figure Free Beam rifle. Get up in there. Focus. Getting so good at that camera trick. Kit also comes with a shield adapter for the wrist, as well as the shield itself. Very nicely detailed inside of there. So much so that I think there's a means, and I'd have to go through the manual itself to figure out how. Okay, so it would just. I get it. We're gonna try not to break another hand. Glorious. And I'll pop that little joint right out of there. Slick that out. And this fits in right there. Nice, snug, secure fit. And then this will plug into the BWS unit that we'll take a look at in just a moment. I got distracted. It comes with 2 very neat beam sabers. These beam sabers are actually flat. Come on now. These beam sabers are actually flat, and they have a very interesting handle on them. It's just a shame that there's nowhere on the kit to store those handles. And then the coup de grace, the BWS, the Backpack Weapon System. We will go over transformation for that in a moment. This model kit was manufactured in 2006? No, 2008. I read that wrong. It's only 10 years old. That's not too bad considering some of the kits that I bought that are much older, but that's alright. I bought this because I mentioned in a previous video, I am a completionist and I must have 1 kit from every series. Char Counter's Attack being its own series, and I needed a kit from that. There was nothing else that I wanted. Don't care about the Sazabi, don't care about the new, don't care about the Nemo, and I sure don't care about either the Yagdoga. As much as I hate it as a unit in a video game, this is a very neat kit. You get full arm rotation, full bicep twist, it's a good about 110 degree bend at the elbow. The head gets a full swivel on there. Or, well, okay, it mostly does. It gets, what do I have going on here? What is this? What is this? Oh no. Okay, everything is actually fine. While in theory you get a full twist, really I think only about that much is safe because there's a detail piece here at the neck, at the collar, that kind of blocks it from moving. One of the big concerns I had with this kit was these very, very pointy antennae. These are actually made of a slightly softer plastic that as I recall, it wanted you to bend into the curve. It's very curious, but it has some give before you really risk breaking it. This adjustment, this nose cone on the piece adjusts on the back for, I guess, reasons. I don't remember. Move the arm to side. Side skirts can be individualized. They go up to the front here, as well as those side skirts. Butt flap don't do nothing. You get a healthy front kick there. Nice foot articulation while we're here. That knee bend, once again about 100, 110 degrees, more than 90, which is always good for posing. It stands very well on its own, and before we forget the torso articulation, it can do the twist if you move that backpack piece up. Once again, you get full poltergeist exorcist action. I keep saying poltergeist and it's exorcist, and I don't get why I keep making that verbal confusion. There's no reason for that. So, what we're actually going to do is, because it will go right back up on its shelf, the gun has a plug-in point for the hand. I'll pop that boy right back where it belongs. And off camera we're going to finish assembling the hand because I like having things close to me as I assemble them. Put that right over there. And we're going to talk about the BWS, the Backpack Weapon System. These cannons move a little, and that's not really supposed to happen. That's if you happen to pull them up a little bit. There's no articulation here whatsoever. But it does contain stickers. These wingtips here are two different sets of stickers. They go together rather well, or maybe it was one sticker, I forget. These bombs can pop off. I'm sure there's a bit more painting that needs to be done on those, but do that at your own discretion. I am not a painter. I've only just begun doing such things. Please go back on there. What we need to do is research how to transform this boy. Fumble, 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 blah, blah, blah. Something else before I forget to show this to you. I believe it's here in the wrist. Am I tripping? No, I'm not tripping. Here, in the wrist, you see this spot. And if you know it very well, this is where it fires off extra balloons. If you push this top part of this top part where my thumb's at, push that forward. So you'll flip that forward, and you get just a little bit of motion there to get just that little bit of pose and that little action. That's a great little gimmick. A gimmick that I didn't expect when I got it. So, according to the instructions, and I don't recall if it said leave the hands in or not. We're going to. We pop these shoulders down most of the way, and then these knees are going to I guess I'm doing it right. I think that's right. Oh boy, we're checking the manual again. We're looking at the manual. We're reading the instructions here. Well, let's see if I remember how to do that now that I put it on camera. We do it raw, folks. Go forward and then back. Forward and then back. And then the feet shift in. Is that a thing that happened here? Okay, those plugged in. Those flattened out. I think we're getting there. I'm gonna pop this other hand over here real quick. Boop. And then continue to reference the instructions because I have the memory span of a goldfish. Alright, I got it. So, I'm going to pop these boys off over here. They do come off. I'm just struggling to be very careful. Also, don't forget this part here, that. And those are separate parts that hold everything together once it's assembled. I'm going to pop those off. This slips onto the back right over all of this. And we'll pop that up just a little bit. Doesn't even want you to turn the head. That's fine and dandy. Fine by me. Then with those shoulders down and out of the way, you're gonna pop that right in there. There's a couple of notches here on top that you want to get that lined up with. Even though right now the waist isn't lining up. Nothing is lining up. Oh boy, what a struggle. There it goes. I'm struggling. Which isn't to say anything bad about the kit, it's all about my hand-eye coordination through the camera. It's very different, very interesting. Promise I will not break this thing. There it goes. Squeeze them boys in there. Even though the gun could fit in here, we're not going to bother with that. So, this will plug in right across the chest, which lets the shield plug in right across the front, and then that plugs in right across those to secure everything in place, because that's also an action base holder. Then, you know, I guess get your legs in your preferred position, and bam! The Review-ReGZ. That shouldn't have been as complicated as I made it look. It truly isn't. I just did a lot of fumbling, and even though it feels like it's incredibly heavy, it sits on an action base 2 perfectly fine. I wouldn't probably set it up so high, but whatever. That's for me and my shelf. Overall, if you can find one of these cheap, although it's one of those real thick, big box high grades, it's definitely worth your time. But at a price point, considering it's a 10-year-old kit and the fluctuation of the Gunpla market, time versus availability versus your retailer, maybe that price point isn't for you, maybe that price point is for you. How much of a fan are you of this kit? Overall, ZEON does say fund it. I have no regrets about this kit. It's a great and sturdy kit. One thing I really want to compliment is this really light shade of, I guess, like a minty blue. It really, when I first opened it up, it gave me this super nostalgic vibe of, and sure, Char's Counterattack did come out in the 80s, but I mean, like, it really took me back to like 80s toys and how they used those like kind of pale certain colors. It just had that feel. Appliances, that's what it was, not toys, appliances. Some appliances that I had in like in my grandparents' house and their friend's house, like had this kind of color, and that's why it took me back, and that's why I really kind of like it so much. I like those colors, man. But I thank you for sitting through another episode of stammering and stumbling through myself versus my shelf. And as always, see ZEON.